I should really try and get used to these screams. The closer we get to the gate, the louder the screams become, despite its already being the 7th day today. It's been a week since we started taking the limo to school. The teachers were initially appalled, but they soon stopped caring. They say people are adapting creatures. It didn't take long for everyone else to get used to it. Now it's just me who has to. The screams I hear outside the window remind me of a concert venue.
자, 다 왔다. 그럼 오늘의 바람잡이는 누구지?
Yuri in the driver's seat turns around and looks at us. Everyone avoids his gaze. The decoy is the person who gets off the car first to divert all the girls' attention, aka the scapegoat. It's such a pain to be the first person to hear the deafening screams. We determined that if the first person goes through hell, it's relatively easier for the rest. When all eyes are targeted on that one person, the rest just has to quietly get off.
제가 먼저 나갈게요.
Are you sure? Yona raised his hand in determination, but his voice trembles. People outside started to boo, yelling why we aren't getting out. I see the scary determination of the excited mass. And in that mass, I see some muscular girls. I'm worried Yano might be trampled if he goes out first.
옐로우, 아무래도 너는 안 되겠다. 오늘은 어제보다 레벨이 높아. 게임에 비유하자면... 그래! 어제는 중간 보스 1차 변신이라고 한다면 오늘은 3차 파이널 변신 정도 되려나? 오늘은 숨겨진 스페셜 아이템이 없으면 이길 수 없어.
Red, let me just tell you something about bosses who can only be defeated with special items. They suck. You know why? Because it's such a cheap way to defeat them. It ruins all the intimidation that they could have displayed earlier. Oh, I'm super intimidating. Oh no, you have a gemstone. I cannot do anything anymore. I automatically lose. What the hell kind of villain is that?
스페셜 아이템이요?
그래, 몰라? 스페셜 아이템이 있으면 어려운 보스전도 한 방에 이길 수 있단 말이지.
Red suddenly talks about a game. Yuna looks confused.
게임 좀 그만하시죠. 그리고 괜히 연우에게 바람 넣지 마십시오. 밤마다 시끄럽게 구는 건 한 명이면 족합니다.
Lance, his roommate, frowns. Oh, the hilarity of them being the rom-com couples of weird roommates that never work together. I admit that's a minor thing that bugs me about the game.
시끄럽긴. 그리고 네가 자꾸 시끄럽다면서 슬리퍼를 던지는 바람에 게임에서 진다고. 그래서 헤드셋도 끼고 하잖아.
I guess Lance was bothered by the noise Red made. Out of context, that line is, innuendo.
나한테 헤드셋 있냐고 물어보더니 그것 때문이었어? 그런데 이상하네. 그 헤드폰 꽤 좋은 거라 밖으로 소리가 셀 일은 없을 텐데.
맞아. 총사령관이 준 헤드폰은 소리가 밖으로 안 샌다고.
들리는 건 게임 소리가 아닙니다.
그럼?
Oh my god, you don't know what he means? You guys are idiots.
저 원숭이는 게임을 할 때 입으로 동시에 생중계를 한단 말입니다. 그 헤드셋은 입에 끼는 겁니까?
I have a suggestion, Lance. If the headphones are apparently so good that they block out noise, why don't you wear them? Or wear earplugs. That way you won't hear them so much, and you can probably sleep better.
그렇군.
I don't have to guess to imagine. I've seen Red move his whole body while trying to block the enemies when he watches action hero shows. He probably fidgets and yells towards the screen while playing games. I'm pretty sure at least every player has done that at least once. when something horrible happens or something hilarious or something really stupid. Lance seemed tired recently. Did he miss sleep because of Red? I felt sympathy towards Lance.
어이, 체리보이. 게임 얘기는 집에서 마저 하시지. 이제 등교 시간이야. 창밖을 봐.
At Yuri's words, everyone turned their heads to the window. As no one got out, people were starting to slowly approach to peep inside. I got goosebumps to see those hungry hyenas. Going through this tutorial every time, do you really need to take the limo? Could you have gotten, I don't know, a minivan or something that would fit for Tay the soccer mom? It's big enough for 5 people, 6 counting Yuri.
그야 마이 허니가 그 바글바글한 참치캔을 타고 등교하는 걸 볼 수 없어서지.
I can't deny that going to school in the bus is hell. I thought about that crowded bus for a while and quickly shook my head.
그럼 제가 먼저 나가볼게요.
Contrary to his determined words, his hand on the door handle still trembled. Yano, can you really handle it?
그럼요, 마스터. 저 잘할 수 있어요. 걱정 마세요.
Yano forced a smile. I felt bad, but still, he's so cute. Good luck. I'll be sure to bring a wreath of flowers into your grave. I mean a wreath.
마스터, 교실에서 무사히 봐요.
Yano clenched his fists and opened the door. He looked like he was heading out to war. I swear to God, I want to punch everyone's vagina and testicle for screaming like that. As soon as he opened the door, the girls pushed each other forward. It was like a huge wave crashing in.
아, 여러분, 잠시만, 진정하세요. 밀지 마세요.
Yano said something towards the crowd, but it was buried under the roar. I turned pale at seeing that.
가만히 두면 연호가 진짜로 깔릴지도 모르겠는걸? 어서 다음 사람이 나가는 게 좋겠는데... 내 차례인가?
Tay is always so relaxed. See you soon.
그래.
Tay grinned and got out of the car. The girls screamed louder. I can tell. Thank you, Yuri. Tay marched out and looked for Yano.
얼음 왕자는 안 나가?
애초에 리무진을 타고 오지 않으면 될 텐데 다들 사서 고생이시군요. 덕분에 저까지 이게 뭡니까?
Because I'm your owner and I'm telling you to do it, now shut up.
포기해. 우리처럼, 특히 나처럼 아름다운 사람들은 이런 숙명에서 벗어날 수 없으니까 말이야.
Lance ignored Yuri and opened the door. Yuri doesn't seem to mind as well. As Lance got out of the car, the girls who hovered around followed him. Lance is so popular. Everyone's following him. Will he be okay?
걱정할 것 없어.
What? Yuri silently pointed outside the window. Lance was making his way through the crowd with the same expression and gestures he always has. And he got ready to give out tardy slips to late students. He did look a bit bothered, but other than that, he seemed fine. He got through pretty easily. On the other hand, Yeno was still being swayed by the girls far away. Tay followed him. I'm a bit worried about them. Red? Aren't you getting off? He was supposed to go out right after Lance, but he didn't. He's been quiet for a while now, but he suddenly came back to his senses.
내려야지.
His eyes focused again. He was staring out the window. Is there something outside?
지금 내릴 거야.
And then he spaced out again. Is he sick or something? Why are you stiff all of a sudden? Well, Eri, sometimes that just happens with guys. Sure, you can learn to sort of control it, but it can be a bit difficult, and well, they haven't been human for very long, so... Or you probably mean the whole body being stiff, in which case... I think you're not the only one scared of the girls.
안 굳었어. 마음의 준비를 하는 거야.
Alright, Red. Imagine outside is like going through the Horde battle in Skyward Sword before the battle of the game. Now, if you manage to go through this Horde battle in under a minute, you will get rewarded with the most awesome battle in Skyward Sword. The third one against Jirem. Is that enough preparation and motivation for you?
나도 많이 좋아해 주겠지?
What? Red mumbled something I couldn't understand. But he did give me a chance to ask and left the car in a hurry.
레드! 레드, 같이 들어가자. 기다리고 있었어.
정의 용사! 여기야, 여기!
오, 모두들 날 기다리고 있었군. 역시 이 몸의 인기는 식을 줄 모른다니까.
Amongst the screaming girls, I noticed a few boys as well. Red's bright and energetic personality made him popular to boys. He is a character boys would like. Well, let's see then now. I see that most of the crowd has disappeared now. I should get ready to head out. After the last person does. Yuri, hurry out. Then I'll follow you. Of course, Yuri will get out from the front and I will go out the other side. But Yuri's not getting out.
모처럼의 기회라는 건 이럴 때 쓰는 말인가?
No, this is not a chance in a lifetime because this is a situation that you could easily replicate multiple times, so the expression doesn't quite work here. What? Yuri folded his long legs and moved over to the back seat. What's he doing, not getting out? What is this? What's happening? Yuri came over to the back seat and came in front of me. Thanks to that, I almost became pushed to the wall. Too close! Too close! Wait, what are you doing? I noticed there were still a lot of people remaining outside. I felt like sweating. What's he doing when there's still that many people outside? The day I get caught is the last day I'll spend in this world. Those girls will definitely make sure I meet my end. But regardless, Yuri came closer.
차 유리에 썬팅을 왜 해놓았겠어? 밖에선 안 보이니까 걱정하지 마.
Well, that's certainly true, but I think they will know what's going on when the trailer starts a rockin', if you catch my drift.
정말 모처럼이잖아. 마을 허니와 단둘이 있는 건 말이야.
Yuri came close and whispered to me. As I kept on glimpsing out the window, I felt Yuri's strong gaze on me. What's going on right now? How can you not? Did you never play a dating sim before or read a romance novel? What the hell, Eri? I widened my eyes and stared at him. Yuri smiled at my eyes.
걱정 마라. 우리가 이러고 있어도 밖에서는 절대로 보이지 않으니까. 내가 여기서 너에게 좀 더 다가가도.
My face became distorted the more he approached me. I kind of want to know what your distorted face looks like, because that sounds hilarious. This perv! I couldn't take take this any longer.
거부하지 않는군. 역시 마이 허니 너도. 으악!
I ended up kicking Yuri's stomach as hard as I could. He clutched onto his stomach and frowned. Since no one's here to stop him, I have to fend for myself. Yes, it said stop me. I think it's actually supposed to be referring to him. My sad life without anyone to protect me. Seriously, I always have to watch out for this man. No, I mean, this doll. Stop fooling around, you perv.
정통으로 차다니. 그런데 장난이라니?
Just be glad I didn't kick you lower. It would have hurt more. Yuri barely stood up and looked at me. Yuri seemed confused to see me fume.
장난이 아니라고, 달링. 왜 항상 내 말이 장난이라고 생각하는 거지?
What? Well, that's how you make fun of me. I know you're just teasing me because you like to see me flustered. Yuri didn't give in and again sat beside me. I hesitated a bit and moved away from him. I won't forgive you if you play tricks again. Now get out.
잠시만. 잠깐만 그대로 있어봐.
What? I was trying to get away from him, but he grabbed me and held out his hand to touch my cheeks. I stiffened at the unexpected touch. What are you doing? Yuri leaned close. I could see his eyes blinking right in front of me. It hasn't even been a couple seconds, but it's so awkward. I don't know what to do. But I lose if I show him how embarrassed I am. I stared straight into his eyes. Come on, guys. Staring contest with Yuri. We won. He blinked. Well, blunk. Blinked. Blank. Blunk. Not blank, blunk. Yes. For a few seconds, we stared into each other's eyes like that.
역시 아니야.
What is?
즐겁지 않아.
Yuri kept his hand on my cheeks and mumbled.
정말 놀리는 거라면 네가 당황할 때 즐거워야 하잖아. 그런데 그렇지 않아.
Yuri? What's he talking about? And I wasn't the only one looking confused. He was too. He wasn't lighthearted and sly as he usually is. He looked like he had something to mull over.
혹시
What?
혹시 만지는 게 부족한가? 그래. 그렇다면 여기서 널 더 만지면 알게 될 수 있을지.
Before he even finished, my bag slammed his face. I knew I shouldn't have listened to him. I was stupid to think he looked serious for a moment. I took back my bag from his face and dusted it off. Poor bag.
얼굴을 치다니. 마이 허니, 가방에 뭘 그렇게 잔뜩 넣은 거야?
Shut up. I want to get out. So hurry up and get out. I glared at Yuri as he slowly got up. I'll probably have to force him out.
기왕 내리는 것, 오늘은 같이 내리는 게 어때? 매번 이렇게 내리는 건 불편.
Shut up and just get out. I forced the door open. Now, out! I pushed Yuri out as hard as I could. Yuri is actually the tallest and strongest among the boys, so pushing doesn't usually work. But somehow he was pushed out.
알았어, 알았다고. 나갑니다, 아가씨.
He turned around to wink at me and left. Finally. It was only me in the limo after I forced Yuri out. As he left the car, the shrieks became louder. I looked out the window and found Yuri leisurely waving. Yeah, that's Yuri. I tied my shoelaces and took a deep breath. Now, if I wait here for a bit and get out of the door on the other side... Huh? What? The door suddenly opened.
자, 내리시죠, 아가씨.
What? Yuri opened the door? My eyes widened, staring at the open door. Yuri was leaning into the car, smiling. Wait. I have to go out quietly. Yuri reached his hand and tried to drag me out. Wait! As Yuri dragged me out the car, I saw the familiar school gate standing in all its glory. I just stood there laughing awkwardly. I tried to force my hands out of his, but he held it tighter and made me more flustered. At that moment, one word flashed into my mind. Doomed. I closed my eyes. Please let this be a dream. Please. But all the gazes I felt told me this was real. I painfully opened my eyes. Sure enough, everyone was staring at me.
쟨 누구야?
The atmosphere suddenly became cold, and people who were cheering just a moment ago were silently glaring at me.
자, 갈까?
Amidst it all, Yuri naturally stood by my side. Then people started to stir. Yuri's putting fuel into the fire. Such a perfect way to finish it all.
아, 뭐야? 왜 유리 선생님이 저 애랑 같은 차에서 내리는 거지? 무슨 사이길래 저렇게 같이 있는 거야?
The girls became louder. I have no idea what Yuri is thinking. How is he going to take care of this mess? Besides, it's always me who has to face all the trouble when these things happen. I look around slightly. Everyone looked ready to shoot laser beams. I didn't do anything wrong, but I felt guilty for some reason. I instinctively shrank. Why is teleport still impossible in this modern age? I desperately wanted to escape the situation somehow.
응? 왜 움츠리는 거야? 혹시 추운 건가? 그럼 따뜻한 내 품 안에.
Yuri tried to wrap his arms around me as I spaced out. At that moment, someone came over to stop him.
유리 선생님! 이런...
Tay hurriedly ran towards us. Tay, thank you. Save me!
아직 이 아이를 데리고 계셨군요. 안 그래도 저희가 데리러 가려던 참이었는데 저희 대신 맡아주셔서 고맙습니다.
어? 난 그냥 같이 당당하게 내리려고 한 것뿐.
선생님, 이 아이에게 감사의 마음을 표현하시려는 거죠?
Tay spoke a bit unnaturally for some reason. Is he mad?
무슨 말인지 모르겠지만 매번 불편하게 차에서 내리는 것 같아서 이번 기회에 당당하게 내리는 법을 알려주려고 했지.
그래서 그 아이가 누군데요? 유리 선생님과 관련이 있는 건가요?
I own his body. Girls here and there started to ask.
아, 그렇게 다들 궁금하다면 대답해주지.
What? Answer? I was startled and looked at Yuri. I felt my nerves spiking up within me.
자, 이 아이는 바로
Yuri held up my hand as if to announce something grand.
나의 마이 헛.
우리의 메이드야.
What? Maid?
테이 선배, 메이드라니 그게 무슨 소리예요?
The girl who seemed the most pissed off asked Tay.
내가 외국에서 살다 온 건 알고 있지? 아무래도 이런 문화를 가진 곳은 처음이다 보니 이곳 생활에 적응하기가 힘들더라고. 그래서 이 아이가 고용되어서 우리에게 문화를 가르쳐주고 있어. 이 아이의 부모님과 우리 부모님은 친분이 있거든. 덕분에 믿을 수 있는 사람이고 말이야. 정말 많은 도움을 받고 있어.
As Tay calmly explained, some of the girls started nodding. Of course, some still looked doubtful. After explaining, Tay turned around to me.
항상 고맙게 생각하는 우리의 마음은 알고 있지? 나뿐만 아니라 여기 계신 유리 선생님, 란스, 연호, 레드 모두 너에게 늘 고마워하고 있어.
What? Oh, you're welcome. No problem. It was kind of true and kind of not. But I had no choice but to agree.
그럼 아침에 같은 차에서 내리는 것도 메이드이기 때문인가요?
Getting out. Getting off is something else entirely, though you can do it in a car. Just use riding in the same car.
그래, 맞아. 시간이 날 때마다 우리가 묵고 있는 집에 와서 빨래며 식사를 도와주고 가거든. 오늘도 아침을 해주느라 우리 집에 왔었어.
Laundry and cooking. That's what Tay does every day. But thankfully people stopped being suspicious. I really wanted to avoid the jealous looks from all the girls. Thank God. But I don't feel all that good. It is because he lied, but still. A maid? So embarrassing.
그런 이유로 우리와 함께 등교하는 걸 자주 보게 될 거야. 메이드라고 불러서 오해하지 말아줘. 우리의 현지 적응을 도와주는 친구나 마찬가지니까.
People start to stir more. They mustn't have heard the last part of what Tay said.
그럼 뭐야? 저 아이는 한마디로 가정부라는 거네? 그러고 보니까 풍기는 이미지도 딱 그런 느낌이긴 하다.
Are you saying that my school uniform makes me look like a housekeeper? In which case, I think you just insulted yourself, you little cunt. Oh, wait. I tried to not use that word. Sorry.
뭐야, 난 또 여자친구라도 되는 줄 알고 괜히 걱정했잖아.
Everyone stopped being jealous, but I ended up becoming a maid. Can't believe I'm their maid. Maid. I was muttering to myself when I heard Yuri's buttery words.
테이 너 그동안 잘도 그런 깜찍한 상상을 했군. 다시 봤어? 뭐 메이드라는 것도 남자가 품을 수 있는 환상 중 하나.
그럼 선생님, 저희는 이만 교실로 들어가 봐야겠습니다. 저희 학생들은 수업 전에 미리 이것저것 준비할 것이 많으니까요.
He looked pissed off for some reason. On the other hand, which way around? On the other hand, Yuri ignored Tay and looked like he was mulling over something.
아무튼 테이 네 마음은 잘 알았다. 메이드라니.
Am I just imagining, or did Tay frown at Yuri's words? Tay left me and Yuri. I think I heard him sigh as he turned around. I barely got away from the hot five and the girls. I feel like I've gone through heaven and hell in a mere few minutes. I feel dizzy going through all this mess. But I'm still worried. And plus, a maid. I'm glad he saved me, but why a maid? Yeah, couldn't you call me, like, I don't know, their little half-sister or something like that? Sure, the girls would still hate me, but they wouldn't dare to do anything to me because I could tell my big brothers on them. And they would use me for, building a bridge, like, oh, what does he like? And can you give this gift to him from me, for me? You know, it would definitely avoid some problems. As I blamed Tay for that embarrassing word, I arrived at the classroom. I feebly opened the door. I couldn't help but sigh while opening it.
어머, 안녕하세요. 나 몰래 메이드로 전직하신 내 친구님이 오셨네.
Soy grinned and came towards me. It wasn't even a couple of minutes since the fuss at the gate, but sure enough, Soy didn't disappoint me. A sure talent in this information age. Where did she get all this from? It's called the internet. Hey guys.
안녕. 아침부터 고생이 많았어.
I'm doomed. Save me.
난처? 살려줘? 난 부럽기만 하구만.
Actually, what you are is envious. See, when you're jealous, you dislike someone for doing something with something or someone that you own, if you want to use that word. Envy is when you are feeling mean-spirited towards someone who has something that you don't. Pro tip here, there is a difference between jealousy and envy, and people tend to confuse them.
유리 선생님의 에스코트를 받으면서 리무진에서 내리고 그 후엔 테이 선배에게 감사 인사를 받은 네가 할 말은 아니지.
Soy's not wrong. Anyone would be envious of how I came to school. They won't know how horrible it is until they go through it.
요 앙큼한 것. 핫파이브에게 도움을 주었다고는 말했지만 매일같이 그 집에 가서 일을 해주고 있다는 이야기는 없었잖아. 핫파이브와 가까운 사이라는 건 그때 네 얘기를 듣고 납득했어. 하지만 네가 핫파이브가 사는 집에 가서 허드렛 일을 하고 있다니 완전 충격이야.
Soy dramatically pretended to freak out and continued. Of course, she's freaking out because of envy.
자, 어서 해명해 보시지. 배신자 메이드 친구님.
How did I betray you?
어디까지 본 거야? 빨래를 네가 한다면 역시 부럽다.
Quick rundown, Soy. Yuri wears back boxer slips. Tay wears orange. Yunmo wears pink boxers. Lance wears, the regular tidy-whities. And Red doesn't wear anything. That enough information for you? What are you thinking, you perv?
가끔 욕실 앞에서 어색하게 마주쳤을지도 몰라.
Well, I did in the past undress them and see their naked bodies and redress them in different clothes.
바로 그거야. 부러워서 견딜 수가 없다.
Calm down. Shinbi, don't put fuel in the fire.
제대로 나한테 설명해. 이렇게 소문으로 듣게 하지 말고. 대체 어떻게 된 거야? 자세히 말해봐.
Alright, I'll explain, so calm down. It's hard for me too. And a moment later, I explained everything to Soy and Shinbi. Of course, it was exactly what Tay said. I can't tell you the real truth. Sorry, friends.
그러니까 선배네 부모님한테 부탁을 받아서 네가 대신 허드렛 일을 해주고 있다 이 말이야?
So basically, I'm supposed to help them study the culture and get used to it all while doing their household chores. What's in it for me? And no, looking at hot boys is not enough compensation for that. Yeah.
밥이나 빨래를 해주는 대가로 유리 선생님이 널 차에 태워주는 거고?
Which is still not enough compensation in return. Yeah. Are they not falling for it? I mean, Tay did make it up on the spot, so it's not the most logical explanation. And besides, a maid. It's the 21st century. Even I think that's a bit off. Yeah, shouldn't you be called a babysitter or a nurse? I should have come up with a better explanation.
네가 고생이 많다.
그러게. 그것도 모르고 흥분해서 미안해. 그래도 부럽긴 부럽다.
Hmm? They believe it?
하긴 아무 연구도 없이 타국에서 살기에는 여러 가지 문제점이 많지. 에이, 나한테 도와달라고 했으면 내가 친절하게 도와드렸을 텐데.
So it said as if she'd do anything to be me right now. You don't want to do that. I mean, sure, in this route and the routes that we've seen in the LP up to now, the bullying isn't really all that, troublesome. Not even so bad that I would call it bullying. But I did read that it gets kind of worse in Red's route. So I don't think you want to be me. But there was still worrying for me, so I relaxed. Thank God. Shinbi looked at me with worry.
근데 말이야, 사정은 알겠는데 그렇다고 메이드가 뭐냐, 메이드가. 물론 우리말이 서툴러서 그렇게 표현한 거겠지만 남들이 보면 진짜 입주 가정부인 줄 알고 오해하겠다.
Actually, you'd think they'd still be jealous of me, or actually envious of me for being their maid. I mean, maybe I just have a really dirty mind, but 5 guys living in one house and they have a high school maid come in and work? I would be wondering if one or all of them would be canoodling her.
뭐 네가 눈에 확 띄지는 않지만 그렇다고 메이드처럼 생겼다는 말이 나오면 친구로서 속상하단 말이야.
Thank you, Soy? Or was that an insult? Look like a maid? Who says... Come to think of it, I think I heard the girls talking about my looks earlier. Ugh, the society's just too obsessed with looks. I agree. I mean, I did my training as a cosmetician, but 99% of the time I don't wear makeup. I just see no point in it. But what you do when your looks aren't related? Unless you are a model, like Shinbi. I feel resentment for some reason.
지금 애들이 너에 대해 얼마나 떠들고 있는 줄 알아? 걱정이다.
I smiled awkwardly at what Soy said. Thanks to Tay's spontaneity, I've become a school celebrity. No, actually, this is all Yuri's fault. Actually, this is your fault for not giving a shit what the girls say and walking confidently next to the boys. If there is one thing that scares off competition, it's confidence. Plus, if bullying goes too far, they are the ones who get in trouble. I have no idea why he suddenly wanted to get out of the car together. If Yuri hadn't suddenly pulled me out of the car, this would never have happened. Let's just think about going home safely today.
그렇게 해서 땅이 꺼지겠니? 더 크게 해야지. 이렇게.
Soya's so cute.
적당히 해.
But the classroom is kind of quiet. I looked around and found less students than usual. Oh, come to think of it, it must be because Lance and Yuno aren't here yet. Lance is busy as the discipline guide, but where's Yuno? Is he still stuck in that crowd? Tay left Yuno to get me, so I'm worried about him.
너 표정이 왜 그래?
It's nothing.
아, 맞다. 너 스마트폰 가지고 있지?
Huh? Why?
트윈터라는 재미있는 앱을 설치해주려고.
Twinter?
역시 모를 줄 알았어. 휴대폰 이리 줘봐. 내가 설치하는 거 도와줄게.
Download what? In here?
앱을 다운받아서 설치할 수 있어.
Oh, really?
역시 예상대로 전화랑 문자밖에 사용 안 하고 있었군. 스마트폰이 불쌍하지도 않니?
No. Because I see no point in having that on my phone considering I don't have any social media stuff. So I reach out to take my phone. Huh? Along with the bell, Lance and Yano walked into the classroom looking tired. But I'm glad Yano's at least safe. Come to think of it, Yano got off the limo first today. Seeing them sit down and prepare for class, I wondered if the limo is really more comfortable than the bus.
에이, 수업 시작했네. 이따가 다시 해줄게.
So I glimpsed at Lance and Yano and went back to her seat. She looked like she had something to say, but she didn't. Well, she knows everything she needs to know, so... all about the limo and the maid. I definitely should think again about taking the limo to school. The teacher came into the classroom. I should focus on the lecture for now.
망했다. 선생님이 아까 시험에 나올 거라고 하신 부분 말이야. 하나도 모르겠어.
이번 성적표는 또 어떻게 숨기지?
As a parent, I would be wondering where your report card is. How would you be even capable of hiding your report card from your parents? The class stirred as the teacher mentioned that exams will start soon. For this exam, I want to give up. It's going to be so much harder than the last one. I sighed and plopped down on my desk. I'm already in pain and exams are coming too. I soon heard the other students leaving the classroom. They must be going to the cafeteria for lunch.
난 다이어트 중이니까 운동장으로 나가야지.
You're still exercising? I looked at Soy sitting in front of me and asked that. Soy always runs around the playground with Shimby saying she's on a diet. I understand that Soy's on a diet, but I don't know why Shimby joins her. In the afternoon, she always has strawberry milk and creamy bread.
운동하고 나서 빵을 사러 가면 덜 붐벼.
There's no point in being on a diet then. But where's Yano? I look by my side but don't see Yano.
있을 리가 있냐? 늘 그렇듯이 병아리는 종치기가 무섭게 애들한테 끌려나갔어.
I see. Yano's especially popular with the girls. I felt kind of proud to see my doll be so loved. Then, what is Lance doing? I turned around and found Lance still on his desk reading his notes. Hey, Lance. You're not going to lunch?
저는 됐습니다.
Lance replied without lifting his eyes from his notes. He then closed his notes and suddenly stood up. Why? Where are you going? If you don't want to say, fine. Huh. I was kind of sullen at his coldness. I was just treating him comfortably like at home since no one was around. Does he have to be so cold when we're outside the house?
선도부에 갑니다. 회장님과 약속이 있습니다.
Oh, okay. But make sure you eat. I added after peering at Soy and Shinbi. Lance hesitated a bit and nodded.
그럼 저리만.
너 메이드가 아니라 그냥 노예 취급 당하고 있는 거 아니야?
What makes you think that? I mean, I'm not following him, carrying his stuff, or feeding him. After seeing the door close, Soy mumbled as if teasing me. No? Yeah, just tease me. Go ahead. I'm now getting teased with a weirder title because of Lance's cold attitude. This is all Yuri's fault.
오늘은 피곤하니까 운동은 패스. 일단 먹으러 가자.
Thanks to whimsical Soy, we left the classroom together 10 minutes later. Can she give up so easily like that after declaring to lose weight? I headed to the cafeteria thinking Soy really knows how to rationalize. They'll probably only have the unpopular kind of bread right now.
야, 단팥빵만 잔뜩 남아있으면 어떡해? 나 그거 완전 싫은데.
I really hope you can't hear my cat meowing in the background. She's being a bit loud.
난 딸기 우유만 있으면 돼.
That's not a meal.
거기 너.
This voice. I was about to object to Shimbi's choice for lunch when I heard a familiar voice behind me. I instinctively turned around. Hey, Mr. Eugene.
잘 만났다. 따라와. 시킬 일이 있어.
How can he be so blunt? Mr. Eugene looked down and almost ordered me. What? But I have something very important to take care of called lunch.
뭐라고? 다시 한번 말해봐.
I saw his eyes glare behind those glasses of his. No, okay, I'll go. I ended up slouching my shoulders and followed Mr. Eugene. I could see Shimbi and Soy pretending to wipe away their tears and wave. Nothing's working out today. I don't feel good about the rest of the day. Mr. Eugene, where are we going? This isn't the way to the infirmary.
내가 언제 양호실에 간다고 했나?
Huh? Then where are we going?
교문.
Why to the gate?
베아트리치에게 필요한 비품들이 배달 왔거든.
Delivered to the gate? I felt more nervous. Mr. Eugene, what is all this? I lost words at what was piled up in front of me. Mr. Eugene clicked his tongue at seeing me be so flustered.
아까 내가 말한 걸 잊었나? 자넨 칼슘을 조금 더 섭취해야겠군. 기억력에 문제가 있는 모양이야.
Well, that's not my fault. It's the fault of my doll from childhood that I apparently forgot about that keeps fucking with my diary and tearing the pages. My memory problems are not my fault. I think. At least half of it is nameless, I'm sure.
좋아, 다시 알려주지. 이건 나의 사랑스러운 그녀, 베아트리치를 위한 생필품이다.
Daily supplies?
그래.
I look at the huge mountain in front of me. Boxes of body soap, aroma oil, lubricants, rainbow microfiber towels, mud masks, etc. I don't think body soap works on bones, and I don't want to know what you're doing with the lubricant. I don't want to know. Excessive amounts of bath supplies were forming a small mountain in front of the gate. The sheer amount shocked me, but the fact that this was all for that one skeleton model shocked me more. This doesn't feel good. There was no one around, and it was just me and Mr. Eugene facing the boxes. And what's more, Mr. Eugene had his arms folded and looked relaxed. Does he want me to move all this by myself? But Mr. Eugene, you're not saying I have to take all this to the infirmary, are you?
잘 알고 있군.
Oh god.
알았으면 어서 움직여. 지금 이 시간에도 베아트리치가 목이 빠지게 기다리고 있단 말이다. 얼른 이걸 가져가서 그녀의 몸을 더 아름답게 가꿔줘야 해.
Mr. Eugene stared towards the infirmary far away. I was so thunderstruck that I yelled out loud. How can I carry this all by myself? Besides, why does Beatrice need all of this? She only has bones, so all you need is a towel to wipe.
지금 내 앞에서 그녀를 모욕하려는 건가?
I covered my mouth in a hurry. Mr. Eugene gave me a deathly look.
베아트리체는 귀족 가문의 영예다. 태어나는 순간부터 지금까지 항상 이런 대접만을 받고 살아온 아가씨란 말이다.
Of course, this is contrary to him revealing that she's made up of different bones from different people.
그런데 지금 뭐라고 했지? 수건이라고? 그것도 대충?
Mr. Eugene's voice grew lower. He was so intimidating that I couldn't help but back away. I wasn't saying that's what you have to do. I was just saying that there are other ways than giving material things to show your love to Beatrice. Yeah, something like that. For God's sakes, Eri, do not give him ideas. Mr. Eugene shook his head at what I said.
뭘 모르는군. 자고로 남자란 사랑하는 여인에게 얼마를 투자해도 그것을 아깝게 여기지 않는 동물이다.
This would sound romantic to anyone who hears it. But the problem is that that woman is not what normal people think. Beatrice is a model. A creepy skeleton model. But she's just a model.
뭐라고?
I hurriedly grabbed the top box. I was saying she deserves that kind of treatment. Of course I have to move all of these. Beatrice must be waiting.
아무튼 이걸 다 옮겨놓은 이후에는 가도 좋으니까 마음대로 해. 단 하나도 빠짐없이 양호실에 옮겨놔야 한다. 나중에 빠진 게 있는지 없는지 다 확인할 거야.
Okay. But where are you going?
온천.
What?
오늘 배달이 좀 늦는 바람에 아침부터 베아트리체의 기분이 별로 좋지 않아. 언제나 눈부시게 빛나던 광채가 흐릿해졌어. 잠시 그녀를 데리고 온천역이라도 다녀와야겠어. 이대로 두면 그녀가 정말 크게 화를 내고 말 거야. 물론 화를 내는 모습도 아름답지만 말이야.
Going to the spa with Beatrice? I just imagined something very creepy. In the middle of steaming springs, Beatrice's white bones. Ugh. I got goosebumps just by thinking about it. I shook my head trying to forget that horrible scene. Anyways, Mr. Eugene, can you leave for the spa right now? What if someone gets sick? Mr. Eugene looked at me as if I was asking something stupid. What?
그게 나랑 무슨 상관이지? 양호실은 뒀다 뭐에 쓰려고 하는 거야? 아무 약이나 주워 먹으라고 해.
Well, that doesn't necessarily help. I mean, sure, I have some medical knowledge, so I would know what would be good to take for various aches or whatnot. Most high school students don't have that, so they don't know what they should take. What? How can they just take whatever they need?
괜찮아. 아무 문제 없어. 지금까지도 그렇게 해왔으니까.
What? I doubted my ears.
지금까지도 그렇게 해왔단 말이다. 아픈 녀석들이 오면 선반에 있는 약들 중 대충 아무거나 골라줬지. 그랬더니 다들 잘만 낫더군. 그럼 빨리 끝내도록 해라. 난 이만.
Mr. Eugene calmly walked away. He mustn't know how shocked and scared I am right now. I turned around and stared blankly at the pile of boxes in front of me. What am I going to do? It doesn't make sense for me to carry all this by myself. But I can't just ignore it and turn away. Mr. Eugene will never forgive me if I do. I sighed and grabbed one of the boxes. I'll be done eventually, after a while. Of course, I'm doomed. Mr. Eugene, I'm going to hate you forever. I finished carrying everything and hurried, but it was just as I expected. The cafeteria ran out of everything. Do you have any bread left? The cafeteria lady silently shook her head. I guess I'll have to skip lunch and starve today. Or in the future you avoid this problem by making a sandwich before you leave for school at home, and then eat that and don't rely on the cafeteria. I slouched my shoulders and headed to the classroom. It was late and classes will start soon. There wasn't even time to go to the convenience store, so I just gave up. I'm hungry. Every time I take a step, I hear my stomach growl. It's my stomach blaming the owner who didn't provide any food. I'm sorry. Just bear with me for a while. After class, I'll run to the convenience store and stuff something inside. Huh? Oh, that's... I was grumbling while walking to the classroom when I stopped abruptly. On the hallway back to the classroom, I saw two familiar people. The woman's our Korean teacher, and the one facing her is Yuri? I saw the Korean teacher starting a conversation with Yuri on the other side of the hallway.
식사하셨어요?
The teacher flipped her long hair and talked to him in a high voice. Her nails looked like they were recently done in the salon. Her long, lean fingers were very feminine. The nails look recently done. They might get caught in her hair if... What? I was feeling disdain towards the teacher for some reason. Why am I upset right now? He's just talking with another teacher. I was embarrassed and scratched my head for no reason. She was holding onto a pretty basket in one hand. I couldn't see well, but I guessed it was a gift because of the colorful wrapping. What's inside? Before I knew it, I was focusing on the conversation and forgot my hunger.
아니요, 아직입니다.
Yuri sounded serious, unlike usual. I widened my eyes at the unfamiliar sight.
어머, 마침 저도 아직인데. 그러시면 함께 식사하시는 건 어떠세요? 이 옆에 괜찮은 식당을 알고 있거든요.
The Korean teacher smiled. It was a feminine and soft kind of smile.
저도 그러고 싶지만 오늘은 힘들 것 같군요. 점심시간이 얼마 남지 않았어요. 바로 다음 시간에 수업이 있거든요.
아, 정말 아쉽게 됐네요. 오늘은 제가 포기해야겠군요. 그럼 다음번에 꼭 같이 식사하는 걸로 해요.
네, 죄송합니다. 다음번엔 제가 대접하도록 하죠.
그 말 기억해둘게요. 아, 맞다. 이거 받으세요.
She held out the basket she was holding.
머핀이에요. 아침에 구운 거예요. 바로 다음에 수업 있으시면 제대로 식사도 못 하실 텐데. 이거 드세요.
이렇게 생각해 주시니 감사합니다. 빈손으로 받아도 되는 건지 모르겠네요.
선생님 드리려고 준비한 건데요, 뭐. 대신 다음번 식사 약속 꼭 잊지 마세요.
Yuri elegantly smiled and nodded. At that, the other teacher smiled with her eyes and disappeared. Never knew she knew how to smile like that. She's definitely a woman. That was something worth doubting before? The click of her heels rang throughout the hallway. As soon as the clicking disappeared, I came back to my senses. I stopped on my way to class to listen to their conversation. I should hurry back to the classroom. I was heading back to the classroom, but I couldn't forget what I just saw. What? I thought he's always buttery like he's at home. He actually knows how to talk normally. It was strange to see Yuri so sincere and gentle. He always fools around in front of me. I felt goosebumps climb up my back at remembering what happened this morning. That was a really dangerous moment.
여기서 뭐 하는 거지?
Ugh! I suddenly heard Yuri's voice from behind. I thought he went the opposite way, but we must have headed towards the same direction. I turned around and awkwardly said hello. Oh, hi, hello, Mr. Yuri.
아, 그래. 여긴 무슨 일이야? 아, 뭘 사러 온 건가?
Yeah, I came to buy lunch, but,
그런데?
Yuri looked at my empty hands. His handsome eyebrows arched as if wondering why. Everything worth eating ran out. I was just about to head back to the classroom.
이런, 점심을 굶는 건 안 되지. 자, 이거 받아.
Yuri handed me the muffin basket he just received. What? No, it's fine. The Korean teacher gave you this. I can't take it.
내가 국어 선생에게 받은 거라는 건 어떻게 알지? 혹시 설마 다 보고 있던 거야? 의외로 은큼한걸.
Yuri smiled wickedly. He looks pleased for some reason. No, I was just around and happened to hear it. It was a genuine, simple coincidence.
그렇게까지 강조하면 더 수상해지는데.
Yuri smiled with his eyes and came towards me. It was completely different from the way he looked at the other teacher earlier.
그렇게 신경이 쓰면 날 부르지 그랬어, 달링. 난 네가 부르면 언제든지 달려갈 텐데 말이야.
Yuri whispered sweet words. Of course, this perv isn't going anywhere. That sincere version I saw earlier was long gone. Please stop. I mean, shut up. I looked around and didn't find anyone. I relaxed and treated him comfortably. He wasn't going to listen to me if I'm polite. And you know, other kids can see, so don't do what you just did.
좀 전 같은 행동이라니? 내가 뭘?
Our Korean teacher's a woman too. Girls already misunderstand the way you act, and if they see that...
오해라니?
What I mean is... they might misunderstand that you like them. Honestly, I always wanted to talk to you about your attitude. If you're always flirting with girls, they might genuinely come to hate you one day, so be careful. I don't know what Yuri's thinking when he acts like that. But he doesn't seem to like the Korean teacher. If he always leaves room for hope like that, he'll definitely be misunderstood. Maybe it's me, but if you see a guy who flirts with everyone, if you suddenly think he likes you especially because you're you, I think you have no one but yourself to blame for that. It's not like, you know, he only flirted with you and then suddenly started with flirting with everyone else. He did it from the beginning, so that's your thing. That's your fault. Yuri slightly frowned at my words.
혹시 그거 마이 허니 얘기 아니야?
About me how? That I misunderstand that you like me, or the fact that I am being nice to everyone and that makes them misunderstand me? You're being very vague here. What? Yuri nodded. It was ridiculous the way he seemed to think he knew it all.
자세한 이야기를 묻고 싶지만 바뀌니까 참도록 하지.
Yuri whispered in my ears. Just when I was about to tell him that I'm getting goosebumps, he leaned over fast. Smooch. Yuri kissed my ear in a flash. God, can't he at least aim correctly and hit my cheek? What is he doing? I hurriedly looked around. Thankfully, no one was passing by. But although no one saw it, we were still out in public. After realizing that, my face turned red with embarrassment. Yuri's face turned strange at seeing that.
오, 이거 귀여운 반응인데? 아카데미라서 자제할까 했는데. 안 돼, 마이 허니. 그렇게 사랑스러운 모습을 보여주면 참기 힘들어지잖아.
I know that's just the way he talks and he doesn't actually mean it, but... Yeah, poor guys, they just can't control themselves when we're just being so alluring. Shh! Are you really going to be like this? I'll see you at home.
먼저 그렇게 적극적으로 나와주다니 영광인걸? 마음의 변화가 생긴 거야? 물론 난 언제든 오케이야.
No! Stop saying things like that. What if someone hears you?
부끄러워하지 마. 우린 이미 볼 거 안 볼 거 다 본 사이잖아?
Well, I'm pretty sure with you as a doll I undressed you several times. And given the way they talk about being dolls and remembering what's going on while they are dolls, it's possible that Yuri walked around naked or half naked a few times than they saw. So I guess he's right about that. No! My stomach growled while I was shouting out no. There was no way Yuri missed it when it was this loud to me.
아, 이런. 우리 공주님이 배가 고프신가 보군.
Yeah, he heard. So embarrassing. He made me yell. That's why. I was so embarrassed I couldn't even raise my head. But Yuri held out something.
매점에서 아무것도 못 샀다고 했지? 자, 이거 받아.
Yuri handed me the muffin basket. Again. Can I really take this? You know, here's a fun thing. I did go through Yuri's route before, so this is why his videos are not labeled Blind Route Yuri, but just Route Yuri. But I only went through it once, and I sort of binge went through it, you know, barely taking a break. So I don't even remember it all that well. 2, I noticed that I seem to be missing a CG for him, which I think might be a bad ending CG. So I'm not sure if we are gonna unlock it or if I'm gonna have to do a off-screen route playthrough for him again to see where I would get that scene. But we'll take it. I am hungry, and since he's giving it to me, it's okay, right? Alright, thanks. Which one should I take? There were several kinds of muffins in the basket Yuri held out. My mouth watered at the sweet scent. I thought for a moment and chose the vanilla-flavored one. Wow, she made this herself? I bit into the pretty muffin.
맛있나 보네. 갑자기 눈빛에 생기가 돌아.
Because muffins make you look good as soon as you take a bite, even if you're starving. This is really good. You should try it too.
됐어. 난 네가 먹는 것만 봐도 배불러. 자, 이거 다 가져.
If that's how it worked, diets would be much better. Yuri handed me the whole basket. In the confusion of the moment, I took it. All this to myself? Are you sure? She made them for you.
방금 전까지 그렇게 먹어놓고선 새삼스럽긴. 왜? 갑자기 미안해져?
Well, if you ask like that and put attention on it, yes. Well, no, not that. They are yours now that since you took it. I guess it's fine since you're giving it to me. Yuri received the muffins, so there's no need to argue about what he's giving out. I do feel sorry for the Korean teacher, but Yuri gave it to me, so it should be fine. I would just suggest that you maybe hide the basket in case the Korean teacher sees it. She might misunderstand.
그렇단 말이지.
Yuri stroked his chin and thought for a moment, and then nodded.
아, 벌써 점심시간이 끝났나 보다. 너와 이야기를 하고 있으면 시간 가는 줄 모르겠어.
Yuri approached me again and leaned forward to whisper in my ear.
아무래도 너한테 중독됐나 봐. 어떻게 보고 또 봐도 질리지가 않지?
At that moment, I almost swung the basket at him, saying those buttery words as if they're nothing. Instead of swinging the basket, I pushed him away.
아이쿠, 배가 고픈 달링은 좀 난폭한걸? 뭐, 이것도 괜찮아. 달링이라면 와일드한 것도 매력이 될 수 있지.
Oh, you would very much like me when I'm hungry. I have very little patience at that moment. I'll see you at home. If I listen to him more, I'll go crazy for sure. As I clenched my teeth and spoke, Yuri laughed.
조심해서 들어가. 배부르다고 수업 시간에 졸면 안 된다.
No, pretend to be a teacher now.
그래도 급료를 받는 입장이니까 일하는 척은 해야 될 거 아니야. 안 그래? 그럼 난 이만. 안녕.
Yuri waved and winked at me. I just stood there watching Yuri disappear. But my arms got heavy because of the basket and I came back to my senses. Yuri wore me out so much, I think I'm not in my right mind.